Hello and welcome to Banks Lyon of Lancaster, based in the UK. We'd like to talk this morning regarding the new Blackbird Limited Edition which Breitling have introduced to us. It's again another piece that we ordered from the Basel Fair in Switzerland earlier this year, and it's got some quite unique features about it. First of all, it's a chronograph. It's only available with a black dial and the plain black rubber strap, which has quite a nice feature on the clasp, almost a folding clasp. Again, there's a facility to adjust it to anybody's size, so that can be done in-house quite easily. Now, one of the things about this particular watch, the bezel is unidirectional, and on the riders you have north, south, west and east features which some pilots do use. It's calibrated as well. The black effect that you have on this particular limited watch, the carbon treatment that they give, the special carbon treatment to the steel, makes it very, very hard and resistant to scratches and any sort of marks that you would normally obtain on cases. So it's quite a special feature which Breitling have done on this particular watch. But one of the things I like about it, the dial is readable. Normally when you see some of these black case watches, particularly with a black dial, you can struggle to actually tell the time because a lot of the features can blend into the background. Breitling have looked at this and it is very readable. I love the large date, which is an unusual feature that they've started to do recently. It makes it very clear, and also it operates like so. Unscrew the center crown here, the button, pull it to the mid position. Just let me get that second hand out of the way. We'll start the second hand so we can move that out of the way so you can see it more clearly. Right. Press that to stop it. Now as we take this forward, you can now see it's changed to 8. When you get to double figures, both windows change. Rather a nice feature. This particular watch has a caliber 44, and again it's a fast beat movement. It's 28,800 vibrations per hour, which means that it's calibrated as a chronometer watch, as they say in the usual guarantees that you get. Every Breitling watch is a chronometer watch. Even if it's a quartz, it's all being calibrated as a chronometer rated watch. Now this particular feature of the date fits in very well on that dial. It doesn't detract from it at all. It does make it very readable. The actual wings sign, insignia that Breitling use quite a lot, is also at the 12 o'clock, just above the window, and that certainly highlights just little touches to the watch which really does make it stand out. Now getting to the buttons again, you'll notice that I had to unscrew these particular crowns on the chronograph facility in order to stop and start it, like so. Once you've set the watch going, if these are screwed back in, you can't stop it. So it's not only prevents the water getting in, it prevents dust getting in, etc. But it means that once that is sealed, if you are swimming in this watch, you can set it going and then you can look at the time and you know exactly what time you have with either oxygen or scuba diving, or just in general sort of timing anything from speed to various applications that you may decide that you want to do. Now, the other feature I wanted to show you, on the inside here you have what they call totalizers. Now, as you can see, you have a permanent seconds hand here at 3 o'clock, which is going all the time. You then have a 12-hour recorder at the bottom totalizer at 6 o'clock, and here you have a minute recorder. Now, we've left this going, and as you can see here, it's now moved off the 30, which would be one cycle, and is showing approximately 2 minutes. If we unscrew this chronograph buttons and stop it, and then press the button at the bottom, everything zeros, including these totalizers. Then in the normal whirring position, screw everything back down. You only need to use those if you are timing or you want it for some particular feature. The power reserve on the mainspring with these particular watches in the movement is approximately 42 hours. So once it's fully wound and you're wearing it on your wrist, which is continuously winding the watch up, if you did take it off, it would roughly last 2 days. But if you do leave it that long, I personally would recommend that, as opposed to just putting it straight back on your wrist, unscrew the center button, the crown, the winding section, to the first position and give it 30 or 40 winds. Again, this fully charges the mainspring. Put it on your wrist, and then it will also give you very accurate timekeeping. Particularly if you were only going out of an evening and you were wearing it for a couple of hours and you come back home and you've not wore the watch for 2 or 3 hours, all of a sudden it'll be stopping overnight and you'll wonder what's up with the watch. Is this something I've done? And that's a nice feature that you need to sort of remember, because we do get that occasionally where people have not been wearing them enough in order to keep them wound up properly. So that's the chronograph mechanism. Now, when we look at the dial very closely, I'm going to come this way, you will see not only the feature of the Breitling sign on the seconds hand with the red tip, you will also see that this particular watch has been tested to 300 meters, which is 1,000 foot. Exceptionally waterproof. The outer dial in red, you may just be able to make that out, is a tachometer, which again, in conjunction with the chronograph, can be used for timing. So if you were travelling, for example, at 60 miles per hour, one revolution, when you look at the outside and you stop the seconds hand, you're doing either 60 kilometers or 60 miles per hour when you stop it. So it's quite a good little feature that you can use. The inner dial has something which you don't normally see. It's a scale of 1/100th of an hour. So there's a lot of little detail and features in the Blackbird model that Breitling have introduced. This particular watch, there is only 2,000 of them made. We have all the rather nice certification of this particular model, and you can see that it's all been printed by Breitling direct, showing that there's only 2,000 produced in the world, and comes with all the usual fantastic finish of the box, the yellow outer carton, the chronometer guarantee, as well as instruction booklet, which will keep you amused for hours. Now, that particular watch retails at 5,540. Quite expensive, but you're getting a lot of watch for it, a lot of instrument for it as well. So there we are. Nice to introduce the Blackbird to